Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And here I am again. I'm Alief Zaki with student number 20120044040, and I would like to explain about subject, predicates, object, complements, modifier, and adjuncts. Now let's talk about the first topic. What is a subject? So a subject in a sentence holds crucial roles to be the main focus of a sentence and also show that who's doing the action in the sentence. Like for example, the cat ate the fish. The subject, the cat is the subject that show is the cat that ate the fish. Now let's move to the predicate. So the predicate shows the action that done by the subject. Like for example, in the previous sentence, the cat ate the fish. You can see that ate, the word ate acts as a predicate that show that the cat doing the action which is ate the fish. However, it's a little bit different with the nominal sentence. Where the predicate holds different roles to show the condition of the subject. Like listen to the sentence. Julia is beautiful. Okay. So the predicate is beautiful shows that the speaker illustrates that Julia is beautiful. Now we move to the last essential part of a sentence, which is an object. So object in a sentence so playing role has adding crucial detail into a sentence in order to make it more clear or complete. There are two types of object. The first one is direct object, which shows that who takes the verb, and another one is indirect object that show to whom or for whom does the action do. Like for example, she gave him the pen. Okay, so the pen is the direct subject that show that the thing that has been given is the pen, and him is the indirect object that show who received the pen. Okay, we move to the complements now. Actually, complement and adjuncts or has several differences. Let's start with the complement first. Complements in the sentence show that I play roles to show that how where or the like show the acting extra detail for the verb. Like for example, she is writing letter. So listen up. The word letter here attached by the verb writing that show that the girl is what the girl is writing, which is a letter. And now we move to adjunct. So adjuncts in a sentence provide additional information regarding the sentence, but different than complements. Adjuncts are not that essential. I mean, like it's just like optional for several sentences. For example, I bought this food at the restaurant. Okay, the at the price at the restaurant showed that where did I buy this food. Even though when you don't add the adjuncts, the sentences will still remain grammatically correct. Now let's move to the next topic about modifiers. So what roles does modifier hold? So a modifier in a sentence shows that is a type of word that explain the other word such as noun or verb. Just like adding additional detail in detail to make the word more specific. Now listen to this example. The blonde girl the blonde girl is sitting on the chair. So listen to this word the blonde. So blonde here modifies the noun girl, that adding as that show that the girl who's sitting there is blonde. And okay, so modifier are actually that important because it's adding extra detail to the verb. If you misplace it, it will lead to ambiguity or confusion. And now regarding this type of elements to build a sentence, now I want to tell you how to identify each part of the sentence. Like first one, of course, you need to identify the subject because the subject is the main focus of a sentence. The second is it determines the predicate that show what what kind of action does the subject do. Okay, third one is identify the object that can add extra detail to the sentence. And then identify the other element I've mentioned earlier, such as complements or adjuncts or modifiers as an additional information. Now, lastly, be aware of the several elements that each sentence must have at least all of the elements I've mentioned earlier. Actually, there is a there's actually a an alternative which is more simpler with you to use is to analyze the word order. Okay, I've explained in the previous video that the word order is SVO or subject verb object. You can, of course, using this method will be likely so difficult for a complex or compound sentence. Okay, now I want to discuss about prepositional phrase and relative clause. Let's talk about the prepositional phrase first. So a prepositional phrase is a bunch of words that usually followed by usually begin with preposition and then followed by noun or pronoun. The function is to show about where, who, when, or the manner about about the noun or the verb. Like for example, the book is on the table. Okay, the price on the table showed that where the book is. And now let's move to relative clauses. So relative clauses plays roles in sentence that show that modify by adding extra details to the noun. Like listen, my bag, which is big, is under the couch. Okay, the clause which is big showed that my bag is big. Okay, I've mentioned several elements that are necessary if you want to build a complex sentence, but how does all of the elements interact each other in order to build a grammatical sentence? Now, the subject, the predicate, and the object are the main foundation of a sentence, and the rest like complements, adjuncts, modifiers, it's just like a support to a sentence. So all of them are necessary if you want to be more various sentence. And then if you want to make a more complicated by adding extra details so that the meaning can be conveyed properly. So I think that's all what I can explain for you today. I'm sorry if there were any mistakes related to people diet. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.